Welcome to today's talk session. My name is Deidre Moss, and I am the host of Can We Talk? I'm an educator, a motivator, and a talk connoisseur. Today, we continue our series on Can We Talk Politics. Today, our guest in this session is Brian McCarty, and he is presenting himself for the Marathon constituency under the BCP party.
BCP. Yeah.
Yes, sir, BCP party. And so at this time, I will pass the virtual mic to him and have him introduce himself. Welcome, Mr. McCarty.
Good afternoon. It's a privilege to be in your company this afternoon, Ms. Moss. It's my pleasure.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So
You want me to go ahead?
no. We're good. So I want to thank you for that introduction. Can
Yes,
we
ma'am.
talk politics?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. So let's get into it. So tell us a little bit about yourself, your background. Why did you decide to get into politics? And why did you choose the BCP party? Tell us about the BCP party.
Well, Ms. Moss, I can tell you the truth, right? It wasn't really my choice. It was God that placed this desire to be where I'm at today within my heart. In 2019, actually, that happened. After I found out, okay, our state in this country, in the area of bad governance, corruption, all that came to me. I started to learn about a lot of things that went down in our country in the past. And that's when things began to change in my life in the area of the political realm. And I think that's when God placed the desire in my heart to become what I am today, on the path that I am on today, this afternoon. And I like it. Really, I like it. I like it. Because the reason why I say that I like it, because I'm a born Bahamian and I have a love for my country. I'm a Bahamian. My parents are born Bahamians. And really I become what I am today because of them from Long Island. You know, and if you know Long Island people, we are no nonsense people. We don't tolerate foolishness, and we're serious about that. And everything that I will be saying, I will not be reading off of no paper. It comes direct from my heart. That's how I like to do it. You know, I'm not feeling for anything. And concerning my walkabout I was in Claridge Road, already finished up Ida Street and all those other little areas down from Robinson Road to Wolf Road. I've already finished that, and now I'm heading in the east um, to do what I got to do up in there. And through my walkabout, from I started, man, look at the people are desperately hurting in this country. I feel their hurt. I feel what they feel. I feel their cry, and I'm with them. And
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. McCarty. But before you get there, can you tell us about the BCP party? What does BCP stand for? Why did you decide to align yourself with that party, that political party?
the Bahamas Constitution Party, um, actually, now it's not a new party. The Bahamas Constitution Party was around 22 years. We just celebrated 22 years a couple days ago. And the the Bahamas Constitution Party came about, right? About the Constitution. Came out of the Constitution of the Bahamas. That's where that name came from. And that's a powerful name. And even governments don't even like, sometimes like when this party and the name is being exposed out there, because they know what's all behind that name. We deal with the Bahamas, the Constitution in this country, and that's something that governments over the years, especially I think this regime too, trying to get away from the Constitution. Okay, which is power. It's powerful. That's our Constitution. That's what from the late Sir Lynden Penland. That's what they put in place. And it's a serious meaning behind it. It's biblical. All this is biblical stuff. You know, to protect the Bahamian people. But they're trying to do away with it. But it will not happen. Not under our watch. We gotta stand up in this country for our name and this Constitution. We cannot get away from that. We gotta continue that.
Thank you for sharing. So I know that you said that the Bahamas Constitution Party is the foundation. The framework of the party is on the basis of the Constitution and standing up for the principles of the Constitution. Okay, so you would have talked about your walkabout in Marathon and in the constituency. So you want to share?
Yeah. Like I was saying, with the gentleman, I was talking to. I spent some time with him, the disabled guy. Man, look at this guy. He even started to cry, and it touched my heart. You know, it did something to me. And he was telling me, you know, asking me what we will do for the disabled. So I told him, I said, let me tell you what type of party we are. In our party, we have a disabled gentleman, Brother Hart, in Brantstown and Bainstown. And we will be doing a lot for the disabled. Even his finances, he was telling me about that, his cry about that. Our government, I don't know what they were thinking about, but not dealing with the disabled, helping the disabled. Man, look at the disabled, should have been making some good money, been paying, you know, they should have been paid a good little sum of money. He said, he told me the most he live off a year is, I think he said it was $2,000. That's the most he live off in 1 year. He had some kind of little business that he was doing. They told him, in order to get the benefits, he have to dismantle his little business. And he had to do that. And I felt his heart. I felt his heart cry. I felt his cry. See, that's what we need in this country. Good leadership with vision and a plan for all people, for all Bahamians, to better themselves in this country. That's for all. That's not just the disabled, for all the hotel workers, the health workers, the doctors and the nurses. They are very distraught in this country. And we got to do something about that. We got to straighten that out. We got to deal with that. But it only can be dealt with under new leadership, with vision and a plan and a group of leaders with a heart for the Bahamian people. That's the only way things could happen in this country. And let me put this in the two. a Bahamian government is what we need in this country that we never had before. And that's one of the reasons I removed myself from the FNM. I was an FNM all my life. But when I found out all this stuff, I say, I say, no, the heck with the FNM. I was voting FNM all my life, wasting my time, wasted years, but no more. I want to see good for my Bahamian people and for my country. I want to see this country so beautiful that the people abroad just want to come to see our country. And we could do that. We could get this country up and running, and like I tell my people, the sky is the limit, the stars is the limit. And we could do that. Only need good governance. And some things I see that could have been done in this country and never was touched, never was done. We could get it done. I could run on with all kinds of different things.
So, Mr. McCarty, you said that you have a heart. You have a heart for the people.
The people.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So, are there any special initiatives or special projects that you are working toward as you try to make that transition to representing the constituency of Marathon? Are there any special projects or initiatives that you are looking at?
Oh, yes. A couple of weeks, about 2 weeks ago, I met with 2 constituents. You know, it was my time to meet them yet, but I said, let me just go ahead and meet them. And they was telling me about their situation. You know, you remember that the oil spill in Marathon at the gas station? That's a serious, that's a touchy thing. But let me tell you something. Like I told, I'm a small man with a giant within. Okay, and we will. My what I would like for the constituents in that area, those that don't have running water, because plenty of them are still operating on well water, but the well water are contaminated with the oil. They say they still see a glimpse of the oil in the water. So I'm gonna have to deal with that. Try to get running water to each constituent that do not have running water. We will remove them off the well water, and if not the government water, we will create maybe a big water tank in order for them to have running water to their homes. Maybe from another area where the spill isn't, just dig a well and have it set up whereby we could give them good running water so they could bathe with, they could have to wash their clothes with, wash their dishes, because it's not good. I tell them, look, it's not good. And see, they cannot deal with buying water every time. They can't bathe with or to wash the dishes with. So we have to deal with that. There's so much things in this country we have to deal with that the government turned a blind eye because they had no vision and no plan for this country, or they just didn't want to do anything. That's how I look at it. I don't know. But under new leadership, we could get a lot of things done in this country. Lots of things, lots. You know what I tell my people in the Marathon constituency? If I could see a smile at the end of the day on every face, I will be happy. And that smile comes with financially free and able to go to a store rather than like now, they have nothing to go, hardly nothing to go to the store with, and things so expensive. I want to see every Bahamian go into a Super Value or any convenience store and spending $300 to $400 on their groceries. To have good food to eat. And I talk about good food. We're looking at all that too. Good, natural food for humans, for our human people to eat. Because we're gonna feed them. How that sound? How that sound to y'all out there who watching this Zoom on the Zoom meeting? How that sound? Do you want a government that could treat you with good eating food rather than be buying this old bringing in this old food from out of our country and importing this garbage that we eating? I call it garbage because it mentally killing us. It destroying our body. Okay, that's one we're gonna deal with. We're gonna deal with it. We're gonna grow our own food in this country going forward. That's gonna be one of our natural resources. That's gonna be a resource in this country. We're gonna be able to export. Countries outside will be able to buy from us. And I believe, listen to me carefully, it's coming a time where the Joseph plan gonna kick in this country. We're gonna be able to feed the outsiders. Because what I see going on out there in the US, they're now telling their people they're buying down their farms and they will pay them big money to do it. Now, why do you think they're doing it? You think we wouldn't have a shortage of food in our country? Think about that. Think about that. God is onto something in our country. That's what I tell my people. I sensing the hand of God to move upon this country with good governance and with a group of leaders with a heart that take this country to greater heights, greater levels. And I talking no foolishness here. This is facts, and this is from my heart. You know, other way I could bring it out. I tell you, when I speak from my heart. I don't read nothing off no paper. It comes from my heart. And whatever did God bring it out. And I have to speak it. We got some great, like I say, great stuff in this country going forward. Or every island will be able to grow their food. We're gonna have it set up in that way, like it used to be before, years and years and years gone by. Could you believe that the US sometimes had to buy food from us? We used to cater to the outside years ago. I think that even before my time, I believe. But the US used to buy food from us. We export. But why did that stop?
Well, thank you for sharing. So one of the initiatives that you want to focus on is really trying to bring us up to a level where we can export, where we can produce our own food and have a level of food sustainability. And we would have talked about that. We would have talked about that on an agricultural session that we would have done. So let's talk about natural resources, because you touched on that. So what are your thoughts about natural resources?
Oh, natural resources. And guess what? Let me say this before I started, right? We were taught that we didn't have anything in this country, no wealth. And all this stuff, my eyes opened up to in 2019 to realize that this country is, I think, the richest in the rich in this country, in the Caribbean. We have over at least, let me say, about 16 to 20 resources in this country. Andres is one of them, full of riches. We might have gold in this country and we don't know. Well, we do. It wouldn't be in gold, treasure. And that will be found in Abaco. That's the resource. And I'm talking about that could be way up in the billions of dollars. If we
What is
get
that? What is that? What is
In
that
Ab-
in Abaco?
in Abaco,
What
treasures,
is that?
treasures,
What's that?
like underwater caves
Okay.
in Abaco, crystals. You ever heard about the crystals?
Okay.
If you research underwater caves in Abaco, you will see the beauty in this country under our ground. We have gold. We have a jewel under parts of our ground in this Bahamas. It most blew me away when I saw it. Beautiful. But who know about it? The Americans. But we're gonna deal with all that. We going for all of that. If I have anything to do with it, because I is a hard mouth Long Island guy.
Okay, so you said you're hard Long Islander, and so you want to bring an awareness of the precious natural resources that we have.
Yeah, also, right? I don't know because the youngsters mightn't know about this either. No, I think it's North Andres. It's a special silk mud down there. Billions of tons of it.
What is that? What do you call it?
Silk mud.
And where is this?
I think it's in North Andres.
Okay.
In North Andres. And that mud, actually what we could do with that, and we could put a lot of Bahamians to work to learn how to make sheetrock, to make joint compound, silicone, toothpaste, and a numerous amount of other products from this mud. Because and also it could deal with the oil that you put in the car. That's so thinking that it's very, very soft, and it's like a lotion. If you take it up in your hand and you try to get it off, it wouldn't come out your hand. Okay, you have to take it and put it back in the water and just wash it off. That's a silk mud.
So where do you find it? Where do you find it?
It's in it's in Andres in the sea, like in the shallow. And what happened before that started? The Androsians used to use the areas where the mud is, right, to bring their boats into harbor. And now, because all that mud piled up, they have to wade their way through to get their boats in. That's how much mud. And I talking about this is over $1 billion investment. Okay, over. It could be billions. All right, and plenty of Bahamians to know this stuff. You know, that's why it takes us to expose this stuff to the people. And the thing about it, it was never touched. I go to say this, God is protecting that for the Bahamians. The right governance. They take it and do the right thing with it. And that's where we will be able to put a wealth fund together for all Bahamians to get their sniping from. We have all that in place too.
So we're hearing a lot of the sovereign wealth fund.
Mm-hmm.
And so your party is it believes in this sovereign wealth fund.
Yeah, man. This should have been put in place from our forefathers.
So from the sovereign wealth fund, Bahamians can get a stipend.
A stipend, yeah. And that's 900. We got it to give a check to every behemoth $999 every month, and we could do it. We could do it because we have it here.
I would like a $900 check every month. That
And yes,
sounds pretty good.
and guess what, Dietrich? The minimum wage, we're gonna put that up to $390. That's small. That's well, the minimum wage going up to $390 every week, plus the $999, the $999 every month. Could you imagine that coming to you?
Yeah, so you have almost access to $400 every week from the minimum wage,
Right.
and then you have your $900 check.
$999 every month.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
And
Sounds good.
that's what we get to give back to our behemoth people, what they deserve. And also, listen to this, behemoths, all behemoths, every behemoth in this country could build their home on an acre of our crown line, given to them with the deeds. No money.
So you won't have to purchase.
You don't have to purchase that. We
Okay.
give you that with your deeds. That sounds crazy, eh? But that I ain't talking no craziness. Every behemoth deserves a piece, because it's why? Because it's our land. It's our land. They're giving it away to the foreigners. Why shouldn't we take it and give it to our people? When I tell you I have a heart for my people, I'm serious about that. And that's all our candidates in this party. We want to see behemoths bettering themselves for the future.
Thank you for sharing. And those are some great initiatives.
Mhm.
Those are some great initiatives that
Yeah,
you want to
man.
get into.
And see, and Dietrich, before you go on to something else, it ain't about us, the older generation. It ain't for us. We gotta pave the road for the next generation, the younger generation. That's the ones who gotta enjoy this wealth and the beauty of this land. The generation behind us. Yeah, not for me. I doing it for my children, my grandchildren, and the children behind in this country, and they deserve it. We had a hard life, but we could make it a little easier for the ones behind us.
I just want to plug in. I want to thank you for sharing that, because sometimes your persons, they would have gone through the struggle, and so they believe that the persons can be coming behind them. I went through the struggle, so you're gonna have to go through this too. So I want to thank you. I want to plug that in. I want to thank you for sharing that.
Yes.
Is that the goal is to make it better for the generation that's coming behind you. The goal is not to give them the same struggle that you had, but the goal is to create an environment and create wealth for them, so that their struggles wouldn't be as harsh as yours.
Right.
And so, as you would have talked about the younger generation, I just wanted to ask, what advice would you have for individuals seeking to enter political office, even younger persons? And the age range is diverse. You have a number of persons who are putting themselves forward as we look at the political landscape now.
Mhm.
But what advice would you give?
Well, they have to come to the forefront. The young generation, they take over from the older ones. But in our party, because I'm the recruiter in my team, on my team, I recruit to the team the young people. Actually, I have two involved right now in the Bahamas Constitution Party. One of them that I brought into the party, he is running against the Prime Minister young man. He is only about actually he been on the the UB, that the thing that they had down the UB with the young people.
The University of the
The
Bahamas debate.
debate, yeah. He was one of them in there, and the people was very proud and talking very highly about him, of how he did in that debate, you know. And see, that's what we need in the country. And when if we do win the government, we will train them. The leader will train them how to go about governing in the right way. Okay, teaching them. And plus, we have another one. I recruited too, also on the team, but he is right now in college, finishing up college away. I don't know if y'all heard about Kara Jira. That guy, he was on he was even in the papers. And that young man, he want to be the next prime minister in the Bahamas, to take over leadership. And we're going to give him that opportunity to do that. We need the young people. And that's what I'm looking for. We need actually, Dietrich, we need more young people, men and women. We're looking for men and women to come on board, and not to be afraid. You can't be afraid to launch out in the deep. You see, you got to go put your foot forward, and then let the next one freely go behind. You see, because if they don't do it, who's going to do it for them? They need to come to the forefront. They need to come in the frontline politics too. The line, they get their foot
Well,
back.
I want to thank you. I want to thank you for sharing that. And you spoke about men and women, and this
Men
is
and
a
women.
topic that I yeah. So this is a topic that I would have talked about with another guest,
Mhm.
as it pertains to women in politics, women in leadership. So how does
Mhm.
your party support women in leadership?
Yeah, man. We looking at 50-50. 50% men and 50% women. You know, split straight down the middle. Yeah, man, we need it. Women get involved too. They can do it. They get to know how. They can handle themselves. Just don't be afraid. Come to the forefront and let's go. We will mentor you.
Thank you for sharing that. And
Yeah,
earlier
yeah.
you would have shared that you would have voted along a particular party line. And we know that party politics is a big thing in our country. We have some persons they adhere to a party sometimes all of their life. And so
Mhm.
what is your thoughts on party politics and moving away from my grandfather voted for you, my dad voted for you, so I'm gonna vote for you too. What is your thoughts on that?
Well, they need to get away from that. It's not about the party. It's about voting for the person. Sit that person down and look him in the face. Why you think a politician don't come to your door? These two major parties. Why they don't come to the people and let them talk to them? Because they're afraid. They have nothing to say to the people. They rather send young people to go talk for them. They are a bunch of cowards. I would put it out there. Because me, buddy, look here, better you see me getting in parliament. I ain't sending nobody out to do my work. I gonna do that. I want to see my people. I want to be the one to stand up before them. And let me say this, right? Um, a lot of people talking about new parties. You know what I tell them to do? Look here, you don't try the two major parties for all these decades, and they mess us up, right? What hurts the put now and to try a new government, brand new, spanking new, with no faults, with no corruption on them. Try them out. And if they don't do the job, vote them out. That's all. The power is in the voters' hand. They're two fingers, the thumb and the second finger, because that's the two fingers they have to hold the pen with. That's the power. When they put that mark, that a person, look, if we want him out, that's it. He gone. But if you get good leadership in there, you don't have to do that. You could freely say, well, let me put my mark back to that person. They did an excellent job for our country. They did good for us. They did well. You know? Do good.
Thank you for sharing. Are there any additional comments that you would like to add as we wind down? I know you would have talked about your passion for your people, and you feel for the people. You have a heart for the people. You would have went through the community of Marathon, the constituency that you want to put yourself forward for. You would have spoken to persons in the community. You would have had conversations with persons who were disabled, and they would have shared their experiences with you. But do you have any further comments that you would like to add?
Well, let me say this, Deirdre, before we shut this down. Let me encourage the young generation to go out and register, because they are the ones who will make this happen. Go get your voter's card, because I come across some people don't even young men and young women don't have their voter's card. But I say, look here, when things happen, you cannot say nothing. You can't say nothing in your country, because you have no right to say it, because you did nothing to make a difference. So if you don't vote, you don't have no say in the country. But if you vote, you have all the say in the country. You could say whatever you want to say in the country. It's your right. And Dietrich, the humans need to get their rights back. Freedom of speech, all that stuff have to be put back in place. They're trying to take all that from us. You say something to anybody out there in government, they're ready to jail you or fine you. That's something I cannot tolerate in our country. You know, free. So we should be free to say and do anything, do anything that's right, at least, not wrong. If you do wrong, there's a penalty to that. But you do right, you're doing a good thing. You're doing a good thing. So let's.
But one thing that sorry.
Yeah, go right ahead.
No, one thing about, as you would have mentioned, one thing that I enjoy about our country is the fact that we live in a democratic society, and we are able to share our thoughts. We have the freedom to share our thoughts. And this is what this platform is about. This is an all-inclusive platform for anyone. Anyone is welcome from whatever region you are from. You're welcome to share your thoughts, as we all share similar experiences, and we want to have meaningful conversations. And so what I enjoy about our country is the fact that we do have the freedom to have these freedoms. And so we definitely don't want to see those freedoms taken away from us.
No. We need that. We need to be able to go anywhere. And when we open our mouth, we feel free. We have freedom. You know, if you're doing bad, look, we're gonna talk bad about it. You're doing good, we're gonna take our hats off to you and say, look here, you're doing a good job. Continue it. You know, give credit where credit is due.
Absolutely, absolutely. And Mr. McCarty, you are welcome at any time to talk about your platform as we wind down into this political season that we're moving into. We see a number of persons are moving forward with meeting in their constituency that they want to represent. So you're welcome back at any time. And I want to thank you for sharing your initiatives. As you would have said, you said you're Sharp Mouth from Long Island.
Passionate, passionate too. Well, Dietrich, you met me yesterday. I guess you get a touch of that yesterday. I'm compassionate, hard for people.
You're a passionate Long Islander,
Oh,
right?
yeah. And a no nonsense person too. Let me put that
Okay.
drop that in there too.
Okay, so
Don't tolerate no nonsense.
I definitely want to visit Long Island. Am I welcome?
Oh yeah, man.
Okay.
What you talking about? What you mean?
I'm looking forward to that check. I'm looking
yeah.
forward to cutting that the $900, $999. Yes, should you get in every month, right?
Every month, yeah. And every behemoth they deserve it. And we will make sure once we're in government, that come to every behemoth. Now the $100,000 that we hear going around, that ain't gonna happen. Not right away. It could happen, but not right away, because we have too much debt to pay off in the country. We could handle the $999 or
$999 that's good. That's
yeah.
Pretty good every month. Yeah, that's good.
That's like over what, $12,000 a year.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, over around $11,000-$12,000 a year. That's good stuff. You know what you could do with 900
Yes.
and yeah, man, and then you're making $390 a week for 4 weeks added to that month coming to. That figure coming to you every month. That's good stuff.
That's some good money.
Yeah, man. And D3, let me tell you something. With the compassion and love within my heart, right? I wish every behemoth could start off with $100,000 a year. And as we go on, we will look into that too. See how best we could come up with that. If not every year, every other year. You know, because we deserve it. We've been put out on the box skirts for too long, too much decades. Like I say, our grandparents, our parents who gone to the grave, they gone to the grave poor. They could have gone to the grave rich. They could have leave riches behind for the children. But it never was put in place. Never was put in place for us. But it will in this 21st century going forward.
Well, I would like to thank you, Mr. Brian McCarty, for joining us in this session today, sharing your platform for the Marathon constituency. And we look forward to seeing what initiatives that you are going to bring forward. So thank you. I would like to thank our viewers for listening in. Like our page for future notifications as we will continue to dissect the political landscape as we move forward into this political season. So I would like to thank you for listening today and have a good evening. Yes, sir.
Before we cut off, let me put this in there too. Let me motivate and encourage our behemoth people not to take that vaccine. Tell them, please, do not. Especially the young people, the young men, and the young women. We want to reproduce. We want to produce children. If they go ahead and do that, they will not be able to do it. Okay? Take it from me. Take it from me.
Thank you for sharing today, and we will end our session and have a good evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate your time.
Thank you. I appreciate your time as well.
Welcome me on this Zoom meeting.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Good.
Have a good one.
Yes,
All
ma'am.
right.
Okay.